I'm sure you tuned in to find out what your local forecast is. That's coming up in less than a minute. And after that, I'm going to be breaking down what's going on across the country for the next few days. We all want to know what the weekend's going to be looking like. I first take you to Toronto. We've got some beautiful footage. It's some of the great local events. Of course, Taste of the Danforth is going on in Toronto throughout the weekend. Also, we've got Wakestock going on in Collingwood. And now over to Vancouver. Also, I'll provide more details coming up, and your locals are now. You are right on time for your regional forecast. Hello, I'm Kasia Bodurka. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Weather Network. Now let's take a quick peek as to what to expect across the country for today. We're looking at hot, humid conditions throughout southern Ontario, with winds gusting quite intensely along the Atlantic coast. Still rain to you in Newfoundland. There is an area of stormy weather to the southern region, south of the border, but it could affect southerly regions of the prairies, and a high and dry day for you in BC. Now, we'll have more on that coming up. Meantime, I take you to an international story that we're closely following. It means for us in the Toronto or southern Ontario area. Let's take a look at these temperatures first, shall we? The numbers in yellow, that's your humidity factor. That's how it's actually feeling. 35 today. Really a hot day across most regions of southern Ontario. And as we head to the east, we're looking at another really more humid X factors throughout Quebec as well. So a hot day all in all. Now all that heat and humidity, that could spark up a potential thunderstorm. And tomorrow there is that potential, especially there's a low pressure system south of the border that could be bringing us thunderstorms all along the 401 corridor up to Kingston. Late day, because of daytime heating, it's going to be, well, really hot throughout the day. So if you do see anything, it's in the late afternoon, early evening hours. This afternoon, things are clearing up a little bit. It's looking much better for us in the Maritimes. You're seeing rain, however, in Newfoundland. In fact, you could be seeing an additional 40 to 60 millimeters of rain, and the winds are gusting. That's what we're showing you here with this movie, if you will. And what it's essentially showing us is that in the overnight hours into Saturday, it's going to get very windy. So securing anything, any of your valuables on the outside, they're going to be gusting at 100 kilometers an hour, sustained at 40. So quite windy indeed. Now over to the prairies, where we are looking at quite a vast risk of thunderstorms. Your greatest chance of seeing anything would be in and around the foothills. Anything intense would be east of that, where this area right here is notorious for producing hail. Also, we could see some severe weather to the southern regions of Saskatchewan as well. I'll break that down. That's not really until the next day. Now I'm going to break that down for you right away in your long range.
This long range forecast is brought to you by 1-800-GOT-JUNK.
Let's begin your long range on Saturday, where things are getting warmer for southern Ontario, so humidity building in. There is a slight chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon. Calming down for us in the Maritimes, with low pressure still in place for the Avalon. We're still seeing some rain and really an area of vast instability. So northwestern Ontario, southern regions of Manitoba, and northerly regions of the prairies. Low pressure in place, but sunny skies for you in Vancouver, Victoria, or all along the coast rather, for the next few days. Sunday, same story, with another area of instability to the northern regions of the prairies. Thunderstorms to us in southern Ontario as well. 60% chance also late day, and this area covers the entire eastern flank of the country, really. It breaks down a little bit, but we are still looking at active weather. Monday, late day for us in the southern Ontario area, or early morning rather, and then it's going to clear up with high pressure dominating in the west on Monday and on Tuesday. That was your local forecast. Hello, I'm Kasia Bodurka. Now today's top stories. Forest fires continue to burn out of control in northwestern Ontario. The Ministry of Natural Resources is keeping a close watch. There have been more than 720 fires so far, and they have burned an area about the size of PEI. Now, Tropical Storm Emily is no longer, but it could redevelop after last year's devastating earthquake. Now, Friday means it's time for a look at the week's top 10 videos. We've already counted down numbers 10 to 6. Now, here are Lindsay Morrison and Kim McDonald with the top 5. Some unbelievable video there. It just shows how powerful the weather is. Now stay with us. Shortly, I'm going to be breaking down what kind of weather to expect across the country. I'm Kasia Bodurka for the Weather Network. Your local forecast is coming right up in less than 60 seconds. Now, meantime, we are talking active weather across the country, but active weather would almost be an understatement when it comes to this. We first take you to China. Keep you posted as to what this means for the people of China. Could bring some much needed relief since it has been a dry area, but, well, with a very big cost. More to come throughout the show. Please stay with us. For your lawn and garden, we have a lot of sunshine for you across the country. As you can see, sunny icons, except for certain parts of Alberta. We're expecting some rain, and really St. John's, I know you're really into the rainy weather. That's going to be lasting for the next few days. Now over to Vancouver, Victoria, sunny skies, high pressure. In fact, let's take a trip to Vancouver now, shall we? We take you to Jericho Beach, lovely Jericho Beach. It's seasonal, and don't forget your sunglasses, a nice little reminder for you. All right, now let's take a look at what to expect across the country since we're Vancouver, Victoria. Sunny icons all across the board. Your chance of active weather Saturday for Calgary and also for you in Edmonton. Now, as we push a little bit east, 2 out of 3 ain't bad. It looks like we're looking at the majority of days looking good, just one day of active weather to you across the prairies. And as we make our way into central parts of the country, we're looking at a little bit more active weather, especially for you in Windsor. Temperatures are really hot, and that, of course, is a fuel for a chance of thunderstorm. And to the east, where, of course, we are still watching that active weather, St. John's, still a couple days of that, Saturday and Sunday. Now, please stick around because your local forecast is coming up right now, right here on the Weather Network. You can get your local forecast across the country coming up in less than a minute. Meantime, we're also continuing to cover the international weather stories. I'll let you know how things will be shaping up in southern Ontario coming up shortly. Please stay with us. You're right on time for your national forecast. Hello, I'm Kasia Bodurka in for Carrie Alver. It's Friday, August the 5th. Friday, that sounds great. We are looking at humid weather, though, for this Friday in southern Ontario, feeling like 35 for us, with winds really gusting quite heavily across the Maritimes. Clearing, though, you're seeing rain in the Avalon still, but really high and dry with low pressure affecting some of us through the prairies and a lot of sunny skies in Vancouver. But before I delve down a little bit further in the story about the weather story here in our country, let's take you to an international story. Not the case today. Enter this map. As we're looking here, the yellow numbers, that's your humid X factor, feeling like 35 for a lot of us in the Toronto area. Take note, Windsor, feeling like 38. Much warmer for us this afternoon, and as you push east, still humid X values really, and that's going to help fuel a potential for thunderstorms. Now, that's really not going to be affecting us until Saturday, late day with daytime heating. That's when we can see these thunderstorms manifest themselves all the way along the 401 corridor up to Kingston, and not everybody's going to be seeing them. Just some of us pop up thunderstorms in nature. Now to the East Coast, where things are finally clearing out. For a lot of us, in the Maritimes especially. Not the case for you in the Avalon. We are looking at still rain for the next few days. In fact, we're expecting anywhere between 40 and 60 millimeters of rain still to the St. John's area, the Avalon, and also very gusty winds, and that's what this represents here. In fact, I'm going to break down the winds that we're expecting. Now, this afternoon, not bad. The winds are still in the ocean, but they are approaching the area. Not until the evening hours, Saturday morning, that is really going to intensify. We're looking at gusts up to 100 kilometers an hour and, well, sustained at 40. And now over to the West Coast. Interior Alberta has seen its fair share of active weather this week. Look at all that hail. When more hail could come to you again. Really, we're looking at a vast area of instability, and really it's extending to the south. I'll have more in your long range right now. The unsettled weather really continues throughout Saturday through a vast area of the prairies, more likely through the northern regions, along the foothills and the Rockies as well, but sunny skies to you along the coast. A vast area of instability also to us in southern regions of Manitoba, northwestern Ontario. Chance of thunderstorms for southern Ontario and, well, much calmer for us in the Maritimes and St. John's. You're still into the rainy weather. Another area of instability comes to us along the entire eastern flank of the country. As you can see, cooler temperatures follow a system in the prairies, so cooling off, and again some instability to us in the central and northern regions with high pressure moving in for BC. Sunny skies continue, and that's really the story again for Monday. As you can see, still fair, still high and dry, with a little bit of instability in and around Manitoba, Ontario, and into Quebec come Monday and even on Tuesday. Thanks so much for joining us here at the Weather Network. Your local forecast is coming up in less than a minute, and after that, we're going to be talking about, well, active weather across the world even. I first take you to China, where as this could be intense weather. Now, again, we will keep monitoring the situation and let you know as to how this is all going down. We'll let you know coming up shortly. A look at where your risk is heading for today. As you can see, Chestermere, just outside of Calgary, actually, a little bit northeast, so that same area could see a chance of isolated severe weather again. Hail. Hail is notorious for being produced off the foothills pushing east, so taking note of that. That's the exact area. And really, northern interior regions of BC, Alberta, that's where we're likely to see active weather, as well as extreme southern regions. Now, this risk really extends until tomorrow, but pushes east, and where we could really see the active weather: Swift Current, Moose Jaw, Saskatoon, Regina, and again that could be some hail that you're seeing, very strong gusty winds. Now, this just in from Environment Canada, we have a severe thunderstorm watch for northern regions of Ontario and Quebec. So it appears as though all the ingredients are in place to produce a severe thunderstorm along the cold front that is passing through this afternoon. So keeping your eye out for that, and if you're seeing active weather, please do call our storm line. It's 1-800-463-WIND, by the way. Now, this afternoon we're looking at some pretty humid weather for most of Ontario, really. Take note, feeling like 35 for us in Ontario, or in Toronto rather, 38 for you in Windsor. So very, very hot. Even northern regions of Ontario, very hot. And really, when that cold front does pass through and the two air masses meet, that's where you have a really good chance of a thunderstorm, and that's why Environment Canada has issued that watch. Now, right now, we are looking at a chance of non-severe thunderstorms for many parts of Ontario for tomorrow along the 401 corridor, and really that's going to be a late day event if we do even see a thunderstorm. In the meantime, we're getting so much rain in St. John's. Take note, more rain to come to you.